What's up, guys? Welcome back to the shop. Welcome back to the channel. On this episode, we're going to be working on my 1978 Dodge Aspen RT Super Pak. Quick story on this car. I haven't touched it in over 2 years. It's just been sitting over there in the corner while we've been working on other projects, traveling to events, meeting you fine people, so on and so forth. And in that time, it has, something living in it. And I'm hoping for the love of God, it's not a snake or snakes. Because as you know, we live on our farm and they get 8 foot long out here. And if there's one of them living in there, you're gonna see a fat guy running through this shop screaming like a schoolgirl. So anyway, and then on top of that, it has acquired the worst case of mold I have ever seen in one of my classic cars. So then we have to tackle that issue as well. So if you want to sit around and watch a fat man being all squeamish tearing apart an Aspen RT, this is the episode for you. So let's get after it. This is Busted Radio Garage. All right, guys, like I was saying, here's my 1978 Dodge Aspen RT, and we're just going to dive right into showing you the mold situation, and then we're going to start gutting this car. And like I said in the intro, I'm hoping there's no snakes living in this thing. But anyway, so here's the mold issues we've got. Like, it's gnarly. And it's everywhere. I mean, it's just like about to make me sick. Literally. No pun intended on the mold, but it's bad is what I'm saying. But it's all over the back seat, the package tray. Thank goodness it's not into the headliner. Because I promise you, you're not finding another one of those. But anyway, this is a 40,000 mile Survivor that I bought like 10 years ago off the original owner that used to drive it to high school. And I promised them that I would baby it and take care of it. And for the most part, I have. I mean, I haven't done anything crazy to it. I've dressed up the engine a little bit. But the original factory parts are sitting over on that shelf in case I ever want to turn it back. But anyway, here's my thoughts on the snakes. Let me spin you around. Is all of this. Like, you see these? I'm just making sure I ain't reaching in on one yet. All right. I know there's mice in here because, you know, they've been gnawing and leaving stuff in here. You know, on this paper, on my old hats have been sitting back here like 10 years. But it's this stuff right here. See this slime? All over the place. I think that's off a snake. Or snakes. So we're just going to have to get some lights in here and digging around and seeing what we can find. Actually, underneath this panel I made is the original spare tire. You know, spare tire bin, rather. I have a feeling if when I pull this out, they're going to be down in there, or up in that tire, or up in the crevices underneath that back seat. Now, I ain't kidding you, and I meant it in the intro. I don't do snakes. I don't do them. I don't like them. They get within swinging range of me, they're done. I mean, I got shovels and stuff around here. Yeah. I don't fool with them. So anyway, if there's a snake in here and it sees me before I see it, and my fat butt, whether I got this camera in my hand or not, is I'm gone until I can devise a plan to get it out of there. But anyway, so I think what I'm going to start with first is I hate doing this because God have mercy on you if you drop one, you ain't getting another one. It just ain't happening. I think I'm going to take the T-tops out, set them over here on a table. You guys know if you've been here more than 5 minutes or you've been to the channel for a minute, you know I'm a table nerd. Everything goes on a table, you know, to where I know where it's at and I'm not looking for it. And I think I'm going to raise the car up and unbolt all the seats, take all the seats out, just set them over here. And then we're going to take some white vinegar and we're just going to soak the entire car. Seats, panels, all the plastics in the back, the dash, everything. Soak it and let it kill this mold. And then start wiping the car down on the inside and getting that taken care of. And then hope that we don't find nothing. I don't know what's in the glove box. I don't think I left anything in this car, but we're going to... Yeah, an old rearview mirror. I bought that mirror like 10 years ago at Mopar Nats, and it's still in there. and an old wire. That can stay there. I'll deal with it later. Anyway, guys, this is going to be a fun episode. I mean, let's quit yapping. I mean, be honest with you, it's going to be fun. Mainly for you. Ugh. Because if I find a snake, it's going to hit the highlight reel, I'm telling you, because my fat rear end is out of here. But anyway, we got to get this car cleaned up. I really, really want to take it to Hot Rod Power Tour. I've got to, get the engine cleaned up. I've actually let it sit so long that the pressure plate is actually locked against the clutch, or the clutch is locked up against the transmission. I mean, what I'm saying is it won't shift. It's stuck in gear. So, yeah, we've got to work on that. And if it just takes a little bit longer, if I got to take the trans, all that out and take it up to have it rebuilt, I'll do that. And we'll just take Miss Mabel back here, which is our new Velarde that we've named Miss Mabel. So we'll take her on the power tour with us, or we'll take something. I'd like to take Homer, but I'm afraid I'd get all kinds of tickets for that. But anyway, so let's get after it. Let's get to tearing this RT apart. All right, guys, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and get these T-tops out of here. And the main reason for that is so I got some room to fit in there, right? So if I can get the T-tops out, set them out of the way, one, I reduce the risk of breaking them, and two, I can get the seats out a heck of a lot easier. I just absolutely hate doing this. I never take them out because I'm worried about them getting broke, but, desperate measures call for desperate times, or however you say that. So let's get them out. There's one. This, to be honest with you, is probably only the second or third time I've taken these out. I actually have, to be honest with you, I got really, really lucky on eBay, like probably right after I bought the car, maybe 8 or 9 years ago now, and actually found an NOS set of T-top seals for this car on eBay. And it's the only set I've ever seen. It's crazy. But for those of you that haven't seen how these T-tops set in here, it's actually pretty cool how it does it. But essentially, they've got locks that set in here on the top, and then they have pins on the T-top itself that slide in, and then it's just leverage, right? The T-top pulls down, sets against this seal, and then it's got a lock that locks it in place, and then you've got like all this nice little headroom if you're a big, tall giant, or you just went wind flopping through your skullet, or whatever you want to do. So anyway, let's get this other side out real quick. Alrighty then. See if this one's, man, they're just crispy in there, y'all. Come out of there. Let it go. Do we got to give the jiggle wiggle to get these out for real? Alright, cool. Let's get this one set down before I drop. Alright, cool. So we got both of those out now. Everything looks really, really clean in here still. So we're good to go there. So I think what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go ahead and raise the car up. All the old Chryslers, a lot of even the old cars even, they just have, the bolts are built into the tracks. You just go underneath, pop the nuts off, and then you can pull the seats out. So we'll get all that out of the way, and then we're going to start using our peepers and looking in there for our slimy little friends. So I'm going to have to get these loose and get these off so I can release the seatbelt from the seat. Same on each side. And then go from there. So let's get to taking these off real quick, and then we'll raise the car up and get the seats out. Now these are just little Phillips head screws that mount to the seat. So we'll just try to back one out, get the seatbelt out of there. And I don't know if you guys are like me, but anytime I take a piece of hardware out of anything, I always put it right back in the hole that I took it out of. So you have some kind of insurance that it's in the spot where you removed it, for one, and two, that it really, really eliminates any chance of losing anything. And if you're like me, I lose everything. So, see if I can do this and hold the camera. We're just going to take and slide this out. Let me put this camera down real quick and I'll show you what I'm doing. All right, so I got it out of there. So essentially I just bent this back a little bit. See how it moves? And pulled the seat belt out from underneath it. Because if you're not really, really careful, you're going to break these as well. And then you're going to have an even worse day. So that, like, part of the project today is to not break anything. Like, clean it, don't break anything, and put it back. Because like these parts are getting near impossible, if not impossible to find. So let me get the other seatbelt loose real quick and get it out of the way, and then we're gonna get these seats out. Good night of living. I can hear the thunder and the rain coming. It's about to get musical in here with this steel roof. But anyway, let's get this car in here. You gotta love a good lift, bull. You gotta love it. All right, I think that's good enough. Seeing how my antenna's hitting over there, so we need to get that out of the way real quick. It's the little stuff you forget about, right? So we need to get this antenna straightened out. All right, so let's get under here, get these nuts off these seat bolts, and then we'll get these seats jerked out of here. And then we're gonna start getting into tricky areas like that back seat where we got hiding spots, if you know what I'm saying. So let's get under here. All right, guys, we've made it under the car. So here's all of our seat bolts. We got one there, one here, you know, so on and so forth. So we'll get all of these loose. Now, what I've learned the hard way is when you're doing something like this, don't just come straight in here with like an impact and brrr, you're gonna snap them off and your day is officially gonna be ruined. All right, so what I generally do is I take a little bit of liquid muscle, you know, WD-40, PB Blaster, whatever. Now juice these bolts and nuts up for, you know, a minute or two. Just give it a little bit of lubrication. Then I break them all loose by hand. Then I'll come by with like a little impact and just pull everything off. But all right, let's get to cracking these loose. Just give them a little bit of liquid muscle here. Kind of just jizz them up a minute. That one's gonna be fun because it's right under the exhaust. So is these two. You know, you got to be prepared to get dripped on is what I'm saying, because you're going to get dripped on. I would have assumed, I know this has a 60/40 seat in it. There may be, I'm going to go ahead and hit these two bolts right here just in case. But I got to get these seats out of here. That gives me a little more access to clean them. And then secondly, it gives me room to see if there's something living in this thing. I know there's something in here. I just don't know what that something is. Or maybe it's out for the day shopping, getting its little mice nuggets, or the snakes are just getting them the mice that are shopping for mice nuggets. I don't know, but we're gonna know after today, I promise you. And then I gotta get back to my little Irish Spring trick to keep stuff out of here. Unless there's something living in this exhaust, which is possible, but all right, let's see if we can get these nuts broke loose from these bolts, and then we'll drop this back down and get these seats out. Probably gonna need an extension. Oh, there's nothing better than working in a chair underneath your car. I've said it a million times. I'm gonna say it a million more. All right, so we got that one cracked loose. Cut one right in the eye. This one's gonna be the fun one. All right. I got another one right now. Come on. Wear me out here. All right. That one's good. That one's good. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, right. Might be in trouble on this one. What do we got going on here? Spider webs everywhere. I don't know what we got going on here. It must have been a big body fella like myself or something sitting in this one, because it's all twisted and I don't know what I'm gonna do there. Well, let's see if we can get this one out. I'd say what we're gonna hear as these bolts come loose, we're gonna hear ka-plunk, ka-plunk up there where the seats are gonna fall over, which would be my guess. Thank goodness there's nothing really up there that can get tore up a whole lot. Now it's a lot easier. We're not tearing up nothing. Here comes the rain, so it's, like I said, we're gonna get the roof music here in a minute. Ding 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 ding. And there's two. 3. Probably gonna need an extension for this one. And then this seat should be loose. Yep, the seat, I hear the seat, it just won't flop backwards. So we know that seat's loose. Let's see if we can get these other 4 out. There's another one. That one was a little crustier to get out. That one come right out. Now what we'll do is we'll clean all them up before we put them back in. We'll run them over there on the wire wheel, clean them up, give them a little some new black before we put them back. Just try to clean up what we're already got tore apart, you know what I'm saying? Now what all that racket you're hearing is we're cleaning the threads off as we take the nut, right? So, you know, we're getting all the rust and the grimy stuff out of there. Not really, but, you know, sounds cool anyway. So, we got these 2 little fellers right here. I'm pretty sure that's what's going to hold a portion of that 60/40 up there. Get out of here. But I've also got a nut over here that I can't. Oh. Well, I got luckier and snot on that one. All right, so cool. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and pop these 2 out. I think they're really part of that 60/40 seat. So we're gonna go ahead and put some liquid muscle on them just to make sure. Now I gotta go get a smaller wrench. Yeah, and get those pulled out. So let me get these other 2 nuts off. We'll lower the car back down. And then we'll pull these seats, and then we're gonna, you know, do the old and pray there's nothing living in them, because none of us want that. Well, maybe you do, because you want to see me run or hit my head or something, but yeah, I don't want nothing to do with them. All right, guys, we got the car back down on the ground, and I'll show you this seat. Remember a minute ago when I said I heard the seat go clump, fall over? Here's what happens when you unbolt them. So the driver's seat just kind of took a nap. It fell backwards. So let's go ahead and get this pulled out of here, and then we'll go over there and try to get that passenger seat out. Now for you guys watching this at home, this is where I exercise that you take safety into consideration. This is mold. I'm not sure if it's black mold, green mold, red, white, and blue mold, mold of Southern Asia. I don't know what kind of mold it is, but you know, if you wear a mask or gloves, or you know, the elbow gloves that you generally do to do dishes or something like that, you know, take safety into consideration here. Now I'm gonna just like wing it and jerk them out of there. And when we go to clean the mold, we're going to spray everything down super heavy in white vinegar to try to kill and dilute that. But I just need to put that out there. You know, not everybody's health is the same, and I don't want to see anybody get sick. So let's get these seats out of here real quick, and then we're going to keep going. If there's anything living in here, last chance. Get out. You've been evicted. Good night. All right, well, there's the driver's seat. So let's go over and see if we can get this passenger seat out, and then that middle console. And then we'll kind of take a look over at everything. Now remember, I'm not wearing anything because I'm an idiot. But if you have anything on your hands, don't be like touching your face and like other parts of your body, you know what I'm saying? Once I get these out, I'll, you know, get some PB Blaster or some brake clean or something, you know, wash my hands. You're living in here, time to leave. Come out there. Alright, let's get this center console out of here. And I don't know if you can tell by listening, but it is flat, pouring rain out there. Alrighty then. Alright. Alright guys, who's ready to see the back seat come out? I mean, I'm not. I mean, yeah, this is going to be interesting. So now we get to pull this moldy old thing out of here, and if there's anything living in there, we are about to find out. So, no better time than the present. I've got an escape route over there, an escape route over there in case something comes out of there that's trying to eat me, mainly a snake. And yeah, you're gonna get to watch it, so let's find out together. Well, I got you all a front row seat, so enjoy. Let's see what happens. This is gonna be interesting to say the least. Alright, come on there. You ain't welcome here. Come on. Hookya! Get out of there. Needed my motivator. And or a defense weapon. However you want to get it. Alright, here goes nothing. I ain't kidding you, I'm getting out of the way. Oh, for sure. They were living in there. Hey, look, if a tornado comes and wipes me and this shop out, I appreciate you watching. And there'll be literally BRG out. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot getting it out there. All right, so there's, yeah. Something's been living in here. Faux show. Look at, there's even acorns over there. Thank goodness I took the build sheet out of here when I bought the car. But let's get this out of here, get it over at the rest of them, and then we'll get this out and keep going. Let's go. Good night of living. It's pouring down. All right, let's get this rat's nest. All right, safety first. So, got my protection on. And there's our rat's nest, so that's, you know, gone. So I don't know if I ought to take that back off or leave it and then get up underneath here still. So we got a ways to go, but yeah, it was pretty gnarly up in there. It was about time to do this, that's for sure. Alright guys, what I've got myself here is some just good old-fashioned white vinegar. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to soak down everything, like everything. The reason I'm taking it all out and doing it this way is I'll kind of show you, right? Kind of under the headrest here. So if I raise this headrest up, there's mold up underneath there. So just kind of douche everything down real good. Now you just don't want to take any solvent. I don't care what it is, any liquid, and just start, you know, everything until you test the spot first. So I'll just test the spot on this door card real quick. So let's just say right there, and I'll let it sit for 5 minutes. Wipe it off, and if it doesn't look like it's hurting the vinyl or the pleather or whatever they was using, intermixed stuff, it doesn't hurt that, then we'll start douching stuff down. So I'm going to go ahead and get this real quick. This armrest, as you see, is really bad. So we'll spray that down. If it discolors it or hurts it, you know, I'll just get another armrest. Try a little bit of this door card. And then once we make sure this is, God, I absolutely cannot stand the smell of this stuff. We'll go from there. And then I'm trying to debate what to do about that back seat rest. If I should pull it. It's never been pulled as far as I know. I know I pulled the back seat when I first got the car and got the build sheet out and put it up at the house with everything else. Actually, the binder to my cars is right there because I had to start a binder for Miss Mabel. So yeah, thank goodness the rain finally quit. That was getting brutal there for a minute. Then I'm thinking, I don't know if I'm gonna try to smoke the dash, or maybe just kind of this up underneath there to see if there's anything living in that. Maybe a snake will fall out. I know if you smoke them, they'll come out. I've done that before. I may just try some vinegar first. So I think what I'll do is I'll do it right here with you, and I'll just spray some vinegar up in here and see if we can run out any creepies out of there. I'll hold you here. That way if I start running, you at least get a laugh. So we'll spray some up in here, up in there. Get it all up in there deep like, you know what I'm saying? Up in here. An ashtray. I can tell something's been up in there farting around. I don't have a battery in this right now, so I don't really have to worry about the electronics right at the moment. But I may go ahead and pull this glove box cover off, or a glove box off, and pull this inner box out and spray back in there. Get some of that, see if there's anything up in there. If not, I'll smoke them out just to make sure. I mean, there's no guaranteed mice, and I mean, there's no 100% guaranteed mice and snakes and spiders and rodents aren't gonna get in your vehicles. It's gonna happen. It's just part of life. You do your best to prevent it, then go from there. My main goal for today is get this mold. Get as much of this mold, 100% of it if possible, out of this car, and start getting it mechanically ready for the power tour. If not, you know, I can't get it done in time, we'll just take Miss Mabel over here and drive her to the power tour. But I'm gonna do my best to get what I can and take you guys along for the ride. So let's keep going. Okay guys, it's been about 15 minutes since I put the test vinegar on the armrest slash door, inner door handle of the Aspen and the bottom corner of the pad, or the door card. So let me show you what we got. Everything turned out really good as expected. No color change, discoloration, didn't hurt anything, which I didn't expect it to do. However, you don't want to assume anything in this world, right? I mean, anything can happen. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now is I'm just going to go ahead and drench everything. Door cards, dash, carpet, steering wheel, shit. Anything that's still left in this car is about to get a vinegar bath. And I cannot stand the smell of it, but it is what it is. And then we'll focus on something else after that. So let's keep going. I'm going to go ahead and, like I get, drench all this, and then we'll give it about half an hour-ish to do it. And then I'm drying everything off, or wiping everything off with brand new microfiber cloths to just kind of grab onto all that old nasty mold and whatever. And then we'll throw those away. Don't want to take a chance on contaminating anything. And then we'll go back and do it again, wipe it off again, and then we'll go ahead and arm roll or clean everything up real nice. Alrighty then. I am just gonna soak this thing down. Like, it is gonna get a bath. So I've got plenty of this. Unfortunately, white vinegar is super cheap. So if we got to, we'll go up and buy another case of it, or a bottle, whatever we need. Get up in here get in there real deep like. All right, so there's that dark. Man, I cannot say door card for nothing today. Let's go over here and get this side. Got to walk all the way, everything. Boy, doesn't Miss Mabel look beautiful? Looks beautiful. I've got an update coming up on this car here very soon. We've decided what we're going to do with it. Some of you are going to love it. Some of you are going to hate it. But it is what it is. Stay tuned for that. All right, let's soak this all down. I should have just bought like a gallon of this or 2 gallons and put it in one of them commercial sprayers. You know what I'm talking about? Like you pump it up and you use it to, you know, weed your yard. Or now you got to remember when you're doing this, you got to get up underneath, get everywhere, because that stuff is everywhere in here, I promise you. Whether you can see it or not, it's there. So make sure to give everything a healthy bath in it. Once your nose goes numb to this smell, it's not the bad. It's not that bad. It's just getting it numb. And then, you know, getting here. I'm not going to worry about vacuuming until everything's done, because we're going to spray this, let it kill it, wipe it off, come in and vacuum. We're going to spray the carpet. I mean, we're going to spray every inch of this car with it. I wouldn't recommend getting it all over your glass and all that junk, but, you know, get anything any surface. You know, get up in the dash. Get up in there. I'm going to get these pedals even. Get everything. Shifter knob. Yeah, this car has 45,863 original miles. Low mile car. I might as well get this. I'm just going to leave that. Get all this real good. My goodness gracious. Stuff stank. Get magic fingers here and get this thing really going. All right, guys, I'm sure you don't want to sit here and watch me go for 10 minutes. So let me get this, we'll let it sit, and I'll check back in with you. All right, guys, it's been probably about an hour, my time, just a couple seconds your time. We have the car completely wiped down on the inside. We wiped the initial mold off. We coated it again, let it sit about 15 minutes, wiped it off again. And now what we're gonna do is go ahead and do the internal parts, like the front seat, the two front seats, the back seat, and the middle console. Floor mats, I'm just gonna throw in the trash. I'll go buy a new set. Those have been in there for, I don't know, 10 years. I put them in when I bought the car. And then what we'll do is when we get all that done, we'll go through and arm wall everything, right? Do like a nice satin armor all, not the real shiny jazz, but just a nice satin finish. So let me show you where we're at. All right, so you remember what the door panels looked like before, or the door cards. So here's that one. There's that one over there. Everything's still kind of a little bit wet. Dash turned out amazing as usual. Tough wheel turned out good. Shifter turned out good. Back seat and then package tray also looks amazing. So what we're going to do next is we'll go ahead and get the back seat, lower portion, front seat, middle console, and the other front seat wiped down twice. Put everything back in the car, bolt it down, and then we'll go ahead and do final wipe down of everything. And then the fun part, we get to start that trunk, and we'll see what happens, right? So anyway, let's keep going. I appreciate you watching. If you're hanging in this long, you are a trooper. Much more better. Now she's starting to look like Marty. Artie's looking good. Let's keep going. Got the middle console in. Let's go ahead and get these seats put in. Coming back together. Love it. Get some. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? I done lost my other bolt. There it is. One seat down, one seat to go. All right, we'll attach the seat belt back on this side. And then this side is done as far as assembly. We're still going to clean everything again. All of the vinegar part and mold remediation, I guess, for the lack of a better word, is done on my part. We'll go ahead and get everything cleaned up, like I said, with some satin armor all, something that doesn't have a ton of shine. And we'll get started on that trunk. And we're just going to have to keep a lot better eye. I really need to drive this car. I really do. It's pitiful. I mean, man, that sounds terrible. It's pitiful I don't drive it that much, but I also like keeping the miles low, if that makes sense. And I know a lot of people are going to say, man, you bought it, you should drive it. No, and I get it, and I should drive it more. Let's just be honest, guys. If somebody no insurance tags this car, where am I going to find another one? I'm not. I mean, I've never seen another T-Top 4-speed Super Pak RT ever. So there's no replacing it. No amount of money can buy it. So I know it's sad, but in today's world, you just got to take care of what you got. drive it and enjoy it every now and again, and other than that, keep it put away, and sometime down the line, somebody else will end up with it. But anywho, let's get the driver's seat put in. We'll clean this up a little bit more, and we're gonna go see if we find any friends in that trunk. Oh, mercy. One more. I know it's only been probably half an hour, 45 minutes of your time. My fat butt's been down here about 5 hours. And I'm not complaining. It's awesome. I love hanging out with you. But let's get this other seat put in, get everything wiped down real quick, and we're going to keep moving forward. Boy, I'm so happy this thing's got T-tops. Oh, just slipped right over. All right, Artie. Let's get you put in here, buddy. Where's my grill? I'll tell you what, guys, this is the most beautiful car. I mean, I absolutely love it. And I know you're going to go, well, and I know some people are going to go like, well, you know, just time gets away from you. Where are you going? Get back here. Finding the hole sometimes. It happens when you get old. I'm way short. Let's get him here. There we go. Yeah, front one to go in, and then we'll throw a bolt in here to keep it from falling backwards again. Alright. Now seriously, when you put these in, they're gonna fall back. It's just part of it. You don't have to drive it home, but get you a bolt set in the front to where you can still give the seat the little jiggle wiggle. You get the rest of your holes lined up, but it's not going to fall back on you. All right, there's two. Now I got to get these far two in. Now keep in mind that's the slider, right? Sometimes they'll move around on you, and you got to re-slide the seat and get it lined up and all that jazz. There we go. All right, let me put these bolts in. We'll wipe this down real quick, and we're going to move to the back. All right, cool, guys. Check this out. Boom. BEAU to full interior. All looking like it should. Look at the glare or the shine on that. Package tray even looks amazing. Get some new floor mats, but that's fine. We'll get those. Looks amazing. So cool. Now we're going to go hunting. This isn't necessarily like a mold mission in this trunk. We need to go digging, if that makes sense. So I'm going to dig that inflatable tire out and show you that. I'm not sure how many of you actually seen one of those. It came with a tire and its own can of air. So if you had a flat, you could swell the tire up and you got something to drive on. And we'll get rid of all this jazz that's in here. It's been in here for a decade. Yeah. And we'll clean this up, sweep this up real nice, and then we're going to pull this out and make sure there's nothing living underneath it. So this is going to be a pretty lengthy episode, but you know, it's a cool episode. We're working on a killer car, the only one that I know of, and we're getting it ready for the power tour. I mean, come on, don't get any better than that. All right, let's keep going. Let's see if we can find something in here. All right, cool. Let me get my circular file cabinet, aka a trash can, and a light, a really bright light, so we can kind of, you know, scope out the territory. We'll throw some of this crap out, and we'll start digging this stuff out and seeing what we got. All right, circular file cabinet, and I need a flashlight. All right, got me a light. Can you see okay? All right, cool. Make sure I don't have nothing looking back at me here. Hello? Yeah, there's all kinds of jazz down in there. So, what we got here? I wish I had a year on this thing. This is my first year we went to Monster Mopar with this car, which was probably you know what? It's on the car. Hold on. Yep. 2015. So what, 9 years ago now. Going on 10. So I wasn't far off. All right, so this is an old tripod that I'm not sure works, but we'll hold on to it just in case. You never have too many of those. This is nasty, y'all. I mean, dang. So, fabric sheets. Oh, you know what that is? That's a poster board holder that we used to take that big old picture up there. That's what that is, and this is the bottom to it. So yeah, definitely holding on to that. Okay, back to what I was doing. So this car still has its factory, or its original jack, its original little jack foot, and the original lug wrench. So I gotta get these out of here so we can see what's underneath this platform. So, you know, here's all this jazz. I probably should have took a picture of where that went because they're a bugger to put in. Hello! You're in here, it's time to go. Hello! Oh, well, that's going forever. Okay. So here's the original can of tire inflator that came with this car. It's got the little bracket that holds it on top of the car. Still got something jiggle wiggling in it. Probably shouldn't beat it around too bad, but these are pretty cool. Now I'll get the tire out and show that to you. Oh, God. All right, here's the original jack foot. Caution, follow jacking instructions. All right. Now this is where something could be living in here, in this tire. Or underneath the tire, rather. Hello! Time to come on. Come on. They've been living in it, though. Golly, look at all the aprons. Here, let me show y'all something. Tell me they ain't been in here. What the frick, they got squirrels in here. Circular file cabinet. I'd almost bet $1 to a donut there's something living in this platform. But anyway, so here is a brand spanking new, flat but to be inflated spare tire. Came with the car. I don't know how many ever seen one of those. Not sure if you even care to look at it, but it is definitely cool. Yep, just as like it was when the car was made. So, get rid of that. All right, gotta get these hats out of here. Hello? Hello? Yeah, I'll get rid of those. My wife will kill me. I better hold on to them. Okay, so I guess the next step is to try to vacuum this crap out of here. Oh, they chewed my speaker wire. Well, they've been eating in there. They got my speaker wire. It's down. I don't know if I can lift this up. I can't remember how I built it now. They actually chewed a hole through it. And, hello? Now, let's just quit talking about it, be about it, shall we? Well, there we go, guys. Nice, perfectly clean trunk. Everything's back and organized. And no, we did not find those slithery friends, but hey, works for me. So there we go. I'll take it. That's about together like it's supposed to be. And then the interior is back to being spotless. 100%. That's exactly what I wanted to get done today. We'll get those T-tops put back in here in just a few minutes. But anyway, so next, we're going to go ahead and get this up in the air. Get this transmission checked out, see what we can do about the clutch and the pressure plate. Get that straightened out, whether we got to pull it or not. And then we're going to get started on that engine and getting that cleaned back up. But you're gonna have to tune in next time for that. So I appreciate you hanging out with us today on this mold removal and getting this trunk cleaned out. We'll catch y'all next time. I appreciate you very much. BRG out.